everybody, this is Bladen, and welcome back to another episode of ARK on Crystal Isles. Bam! There we go. Oh, come on, let's get the body. There we go, nice. Alright, we got him. Alright, yep, we're back on Crystal Isles today. I am spending some quality time with the Tropio I tamed in the last episode. I was just coming out here to get a little bit of metal. Let's go ahead and land here next to this rock. There we go. And yeah, I've just been doing a lot of building and stuff between this episode and the last one. I hope you guys like that montage at the beginning of the episode, by the way. I had a lot of fun editing that, and that wall is very, very nice to have going forward. And speaking of our Tropio, actually, yeah, I have a name now. Fritz! Yes. I decided to name my Tropio Fritz. It's kind of a name I like to give to some of my favorite flyers. You know, like my sort of baseline earlier game flyers, I like to give that name to. And, you know, any flyers that get in the late game that I use for, like, combat or, you know, really big deal fights or speed, I like to name that one Blitz. And that might be a name I have reserved for, you know, my future Tropio that we plan to use for the actual boss fight once that time comes around. But, yeah, anyway, getting back at base here. As you can see, I've built a really nice big wall all the way around our entire peninsula here. I've got our house encased right in here, and we have a very, very nice large space to work with. We're going to be able to build so many things in here. We're going to have a whole bunch of dinosaurs in here. We're going to need this space, in fact, because once we get to doing the breeding for creatures like wyverns and Therizinos, I'm not sure about Rexes, but maybe at one point, we're going to have a lot of wyverns just sitting in here together, and we are, you know, they take up a lot of space just standing around, so having all this space is very appropriate for that. But anyway, let's go ahead and throw this metal into our refining forge here. As you can see, I've been quite busy smelting up more metal and getting myself a whole bunch more gasoline since last episode. As I was out, you know, building this wall, I decided to use that time wisely and make sure I had things ready for this episode. And yeah, the game plan for today's episode is getting ourselves set up with crops, irrigation, and also an upgrade. I mean, like, come on. We've been wearing this hide armor for a long time. We haven't done anything with it. There's no color, no style with it. We need some fashion sense, I think. Yes, that is our big project right now. I'm going to go ahead and get all my tools repaired here, and we can start thinking about where exactly we would like to get our farm and crop irrigation set up at. So, I think a good spot to actually do all of that, I'm going to indigo real quick just so we can, you know, get a nice overhead view, is right over here, like right where this foundation is right here. I think if we set up some stone foundations and some greenhouse walls and ceilings right over here, that would be a perfect spot for us to have a farm, because right below next to it, that is our closest water source to us, and we can pretty easily set up irrigation from right there. After we get some pipes set up and we can get our crops watered and everything like that. Plus, we'll have a nice, easy water source for us to fill our water jars, so we don't have to constantly go back and forth between, you know, the river at the bottom and up back at the top up here. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and grab some of this stuff. I have some resources already sitting in here handy. Let's see. I want the farm to be 8 large crop plots in total, so that way I can have 2 of each crop inside of that farm. In order to do that, we are going to need, I think, let's see, it'll be a 2 by 5 setup, so we're going to need 10 stone foundations. Let's see how much that'll take. Yeah, we're going to need a lot of stone, a good amount of wood, and a little bit of thatch as well, but that shouldn't be any problem to get. These 2 have already helped us a lot, and they can help us out a little bit more in getting that, so let's go ahead and grind up those resources. Alright, I've got 10 stone foundations made up right now. Let's go ahead and let's see. Place one right there and right there, and then we have a little bit of space left over just behind it. We would go 1, 2, 3, 4 on that side, and we'll put 4 more on this side right here. Alright, perfect. So we got ourselves a 2 by 5 area right over here, and we'll have 4 large crop plots on this side over here, 2 of which will probably be reserved for, you know, long grass and citronal, and the other 2 over here will be for the savaroot and oh gosh, I don't remember the name of the last one. I'm sure once we get the seeds for it, that'll all work out just fine. But the next order of business is going to actually be getting the greenhouse stuff set up. And this is where all of the metal that we just smelted, you know, between this episode and the last one, going to come in real handy for. It's going to take a heck of a lot of metal to get this stuff made. I'm pretty sure we're going to be good on the cementing paste, but I know we're going to need a lot of crystal as well. Alright, let's see here. Let's see, I would like to opt in for the double door frame. I usually prefer the double door instead of the single door. I just think it looks nicer. But we are going to need a heck of a lot of walls, which 25 crystal per wall. Yeesh. But only 7 metal and 7 cementing paste for each one. That should not be too bad. I can always go and get more cementing paste with the frogs, or I can visit the beaver dams where the obsidian was in the last episode. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and where's our Fritz? There's Fritz. Fritz can carry a lot more than the pteranodons can. Claws and indigo. The claws and indigo at this point might become a little obsolete, actually, now that we have our Tropia here, because it's a lot quicker and it does carry a lot more than they do. So hopefully I can still find a good reason to use the pteranodons. You know, maybe for some experimental stuff later. We'll see. Oh my gosh, that flame. Well, actually, I would also like to show off real quick these foundations. So, in case you're unaware, foundations prevent the spawning in of rocks and bushes and trees in this area. So that's why I have a bunch of these placed down. It looks kind of ugly, not gonna lie, but this will keep our base nice and tidy from a whole bunch of random nonsense and clutter filling up our area. So we'll have that very handy to go forward with. Right, let's go ahead and get down here. And luckily, we have a bunch of these big crystals just surrounding our place, so we can harvest those up easily. What are you doing here, Scorpion? Get! We have stumbled upon a one-of-a-kind crystal deposit here. These are some super wacky-looking crystals. Remember my self-imposed rule of taming one brand new creature that I haven't yet tamed in every new episode I do? Well, we are a little bit busy in today's episode, but I think going forward, eventually, I want to tame this fella right here. Level 156 Techorex. Oh my goodness, that is going to be super nice to have. I don't know if we'll be doing any breeding with Rexes in the future, let alone Techrexes, because they're much more rare than regular Rexes are. But if we can at least tame that thing, we'll be able to, like, just walk around the entire place and harvest as much meat and hide as we could ever need going forward. So that'll definitely be on the radar. Also, since last episode, I've actually made a bit of a discovery. I actually had an error in my last episode regarding the controls of the Tropio. In the last episode, I said that you could hold forward while going in your jet mode to get a bit of a speed boost. And that would also allow you to do your drafting maneuver if you happen to catch the flight path behind other flyers. Where in fact, actually, you're supposed to hold space to enable the drafting. If you look carefully on the bottom right, you see that symbol down there, how it's flashing between white and green? When it's flashing green, that means you're actually holding down space, and that lets you know that you are successfully drafting, and what a speed difference it is. So this is how we look as we are approaching it without the drafting. Let's go ahead and get some distance here. And once we enable the drafting, we go much quicker. Look how fast we are. We are just zipping through here. The fact that there's so many RGs around my base helps out so much too. You can really get some nice distance in a really short amount of time if you find a bunch of RGs just flying next to each other. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up. I'm sorry about that in the last episode. Let's keep finding some crystal. We're playing a game of chicken. Oh, it's a game of chicken. Okay, go, go, go. Get out of here, go, go, go. I am back at base with 300 more crystal. Let's go ahead and look at the greenhouse stuff. Alright, we can make a bunch of these things. We're going to want the double door frame, double doors, and we're going to need a heck of a lot of walls too, but I think it'll be easier if I just figure out how many ceilings I need. I do want it to be a nice little kind of archway on the top, so I think with this, we're only going to need, let's see, 5, 6. We're only going to need 6 ceilings, and we are also going to need 4 of those sloped roofs right there, and that will cover the whole entire ceiling area. We'll also need these sloped walls. Let's see, 1, 2... 1, 2. So 2 rights and 2 lefts, of course. Let's go ahead and grab all this stuff. And I think the rest of it will just be the walls, which we can only make 4 of at the moment. Let's go ahead and get this thatch foundation out of the way. I'll probably put a ramp there or another stone foundation with a ramp connected to it instead of that. Alright, so that will be our door frame. I could have just pressed E. There's our door. Let's see, does it make sure? Okay, yep, it goes inside. That's exactly how we want it. And then our walls. Oh, didn't mean to press escape there. We're going to go bam, 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 bam. Just the 4 walls that we have right now so we can see it. And let's take, I think one, no, it'll be the other one. There we go. So we're going to have that kind of slopiness going across the top side here, and it'll go on the other side, and we're going to repeat the design on the front to the back here, so it'll be a nice block that goes above our heads, really nice and tidy. We are in fact pretty low on cementing paste right now. We're not going to have enough to finish the rest of our walls, so I think, as tempting as it is to go for the beaver dams, I want to show the frogs some love. I'm going to take Frog Yawn out to some insects, and let's gather some cementing paste from them. I would also like to hit up some of these things while we're out exploring. Let's see what we got inside this purple one right here. I would love some blueprints for some... Bah. I'll take that water jar, but I would really like some blueprints for some flak armor, or some pickaxe, or a crossbow, or a long neck would be really nice to have. And of course, saddles are always welcome. Maybe one for our Tropio? According to the ARK wiki, these floating islands right over here should be a nice hot spot for us to find some Meganura, which is awesome because I am very excited to explore these on foot with Frog Yawn. Alright, we're off. Let's do some exploring. Blam. 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 Why are you so hard to hit? There we go. Oh, hello. It's a wild little office. Oh, look how cute it is. Oh, it's a beautiful color too. Gray and blue. I love that color combination. I'd love to tame that thing just for how it looks. Gray and blue are my 2 single favorite colors, in case you didn't know. What is that noise? You hear that? It feels like there's like a portal below me, like an earthquake or something going on. What is happening? I need your precious cementing paste, please. Ugh. What the heck? What's that? There's something under me. What? There's a raptor under me, and there's an oviraptor down there too. What on earth? Look over there. Did you just see that? What on earth is going on right now? There's just creatures falling through the terrain. Oh my god. Ugh. That's frightening. What is this? Oh my gosh! Dude! Oh! Oh! Get me out of here! That is insane! Oh god. Oh, what on earth is going on in these islands? This place is cursed, man. Oh, this is nerve-wracking. I gotta get out of here. What's this place even called? Apotheosis? Man, this place is cursed. I need to look up what that word means, but I hope it means something to do with horrifying crab demon spawn curse floaty islands, because this place is absolutely nuts. First it was supernatural sounds erupting below us, and then dinosaurs hidden below in the terrain, and then 10,000 crabs, and then 10,000 more other dinosaurs falling to their doom in a bottomless ocean. I have no idea what to say about that. If there was any place on the Crystal Isles where I should be able to get tons of cementing paste with the frogs, it's in this cave. I should be seeing spiders aplenty down here. Although, wait a second. Oh, I might be wrong on this, but when Crystal Isles was a fan-made map and not yet official, this whole area right here was reserved for rock drakes to spawn in, and you could actually find rock drakes and collect their eggs down here, you know, just like on Aberration. but in the transition between fan map and official, they decided to remove the rock tricks from here, and thus no eggs are actually going to appear down here whatsoever, which is an interesting move. I'm not sure why they actually decided to do that, considering that they have other aberration creatures on this map. Maybe they didn't want wyverns and rock tricks to both be obtainable in the same map, or it could be for one reason or another, but yeah, it's a bit of a letdown, because it's a very cool location, and there's not even any creatures in there whatsoever. I would at least hope to see some spiders in there or something like that. Here's an amazing discovery. You can actually catch the draft behind the jug bugs. I never would have thought that these things produce a draft behind them, but hey, you know, we take our victories when we can get them. Gotcha. Thank you for your cementing paste. Every experienced ARK player knows they need a friendly neighborhood mole pig in order for them to have a good farm. You're gonna be mine, Fiomia. Don't resist. And it's down. Fiomia tamed. Alright, perfect. Let's go ahead and get you cryopotted back up. And we will deliver you back to base once we are back there with all of our cementing paste. That kind of rhymed, didn't it? Hehe. Oh, look at this Bronto. I've got bad news for you, buddy. I don't even think you're going to be able to get out of there. What level are you? 50. Yeah, you might be stuck in there for the rest of your life. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you. Oh, what a disaster. Come to me. Yum, 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 yum. Alright, I've got about 420 cementing paste here in my inventory, and I've also got some organic polymer from killing that Carcanos earlier. I honestly kind of forgot that Carcanos even dropped organic polymer in the first place, so we'll probably be coming here in the future for our organic polymer farming needs instead of the river with the Hesperornis in, because they're much more plentiful down here, and I don't feel nearly as bad for killing the Carcanos as I do the Hesperornis. Alright, let's get back to base, and let's finish up that greenhouse. Alright everybody, I think the greenhouse is just about finished here, at least for the greenhouse itself, and we've got our crop plots inside of here, but of course we have some more additions that we need to put inside of here before we can actually get some plants growing. Before you know it, this place will be full of nice organic green life that we'll be able to get crops from. Actually, let's go ahead and start putting in some of these seeds. So we are going to need rock carrots. Let's go ahead and place some right there and some right there. Then next up we're going to need our sava roots. We'll put 2 of those seeds in each one of those. Then we have our long grass, which is going to be the corn looking stuff. They have weird names. And then lastly, the citronal, which is the big oranges. Alright, so in order to actually get these crops to start growing, as we can see, we need water, fertilizer, seeds, and the greenhouse effect is going to determine how fast they grow for us, how much it's going to be able to produce. So we're going to need water and fertilizer, and one of those we can actually take care of right now thanks to our Fiomia friend here. I just did some running around getting some berries with good old Barney here, and the trick to making fertilizer happen is with stem berries and also just some kind of filler food berry. Meho berries work pretty well for this. Now, if the idea of dinosaur poop makes you squeamish, now might be a good time to go full screen. So, Fiomias, the reason why a Fiomia is so great for farmers in this game is they have a very nice hidden property about them. We force feed them stem berries and... yeah. Look at all of these species right here. Fiomias are not the only creature that can really produce feces from feeding stimberries, but they are by far the most efficient at it. And I think actually taming a lower level Phiomia makes the feces production a lot better, because you have to feed them less stimberries and they can actually produce more feces over a shorter period of time. And my personal theory for this is actually because I think it's determined by the percentage remaining on their food stat. Maybe for around every 2 or 3% that the food actually drops down, that is when a feces is produced. And when you tame a very high level Phiomia with a very high food stat, you have to be feeding more stimberries in order to reach that percentage in order for them to produce feces. So they actually produce a lot slower than a lower level one like this does. So that's why I usually prefer to get a lower level Phiomia for doing this. But we can actually use the feces as fertilizer directly, though it won't be a really great idea to do this in the long run. We'll have another creature that we'll be taming today that will make the production of real fertilizer much easier on us. This is so nasty. So for the time being, I've put 3 medium animal feces into each one of these crop plots right here, and that gives it a fertilizer value of 22,500. So that'll be good for a little bit, but later on we're going to need a better way to get fertilizer. But anyway, with that taken care of for the time being, we can move on to the next step of actually producing crops, and that is going to be the water irrigation system. And in order to make that work, we're going to need a lot of these bad boys. These are the irrigation pipes, and we're going to connect them to each other over down to that water source nearby, and we'll be able to get water from those. We're going to need, let's see, we're going to need an intake. I always like to use these intersection ones. I will have about, let's make about 4 of them. And we're also going to need some taps, which requires wood, and a bunch of straight pipes. And vertical pipes too. Now, it's a little tough to see where the pipe actually is, but we can barely see the green outline there on the sides. Alright, now let's take a couple of our straight pipes here. And put one right there, and one on this side. And then hopefully we'll be able to see the tap actually connect to it. Right there. Perfectly centered in the corners. That's exactly how I want it to look. Okay, great. Next objective is to start getting these pipes to connect outside of my base, and Fritz is going to be a really big help here. Having a maneuverable flyer can really ease the process of getting these pipes placed down through here. So let's go all the way through here to the side. I'm going to need more than that. So in this situation right here, where we can't really use the straight pipe to turn over towards the water source, we're going to need to use an intersection pipe to go that way, and now we can go in this direction. It looks really bad, I think. I think the irrigation system could use a little bit of work in ARK, but I think overall it works decently enough. Hopefully we'll walk inside of here and see that, yep, our stone water taps are now actually filtering water out through them, and all of our crop plots are now getting irrigated by these water sources. So now they're always going to have water going through them. It's going to be automatic, no maintenance at all, and the only thing that we have to keep up on them manually is actually giving them more fertilizer. And that is going to be our next step. So the next creature for us to tame today is going to be another passive tame creature that actually eats dung. We're going to grab a lot of dung from our Phiomia here, and we are going to start flying southward. We're going to be going to the southernmost part of the map. That is where this creature will be the most common at. So on my way to the southernmost part of the map to find the creature we're looking for, I happen to have bumped into the wyvern trench of this map, and yeah, this place is kind of swarmed right now with wild wyverns. I don't really want to tangle with them at all right now. These guys are actually going to attack us, unlike the other ones that we found. We can specifically tell because they have this skull helmet, I think. It's tough to see them on the back of this Tropia right here, but if you look really carefully, you can actually see some of them have the skull helmet on them. And if I get too close to them, they are going to try to attack me, which is exactly what I don't want to happen right now. But we are definitely going to be spending some time here later to maybe find some wyvern eggs. And oh, I'm out of stamina. Oh my goodness gracious. Wild Giga. I didn't even know that they appeared in this scorching hot desert area. That is absolutely terrifying. Definitely not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is actually right down there, I believe. Let's see. Wild level 50 dung beetle, level 140 dung beetle. That is exactly what we want to find right now. And I don't want to tame it anywhere close to this Giga. We are going to grab, please. I can't grab it. Oh my goodness. This changes everything. Remember how I was playing that game of chicken with that Rex earlier? Well, that gig wandered over to the backside of that cliff right there. We are playing a full-on game of Canadian Goose right now because that thing is way more terrifying than that Rex will ever be. And I can assure you, if that thing starts running at me from across that cliff right there, I am getting the heck out of here. But hopefully, it shouldn't take too long to tame our dung beetle friend here. So these dung beetles are actually probably the best way of getting fertilizing the entire game. Having one of these guys and a Phiomia together paired up are the ultimate combo for an effective farm in this game. And we found a pretty good leveled one right here. And yeah, dung beetles, they actually take feces as their main food source, and this is what you feed them to once they're tamed up. And once we do that, we'll actually have this guy convert feces into fertilizer for us, and we'll use that to keep our plants nice and happy. I think this should do it. There we go! We got our dung beetle! Alright, it only took 3 feedings in order to get him tamed. Where you going, friend? There we go, let's get you in the cryopod. Alright, I'll give you and the Phiomia a nickname once we get back to base. Oh, this is such a horrible idea. Oh my god. Ooh. I had to do it, I'm sorry. Purple supply drop. What have you got? Ramshackle sickle. That rolls off the tongue nicely. Ramshackle sickle. Blue supply drop. Ramshackle ghillie leggings. That doesn't sound as good. Red supply drop. These are the best ones. Ramshackle ghillie leggings! Oh, I jinxed myself. Dung beetle. Now, if I remember correctly, you're supposed to actually be able to pick these guys up. What if I drop you? Yeah, here we go. There's not many creatures you can do this with in the game, but you can actually pick up some of these creatures and just walk around with them. It looks hilarious. We're actually going to put this guy right inside of our greenhouse. Wham! There we go. Alright, now I'm actually going to set him to wander, because he actually can't turn feces into fertilizer if he's not on wander. That's a very important feature that you need to remember when you have a dung beetle. Alright, I've got a name for you, Phiomia. We are going to name you Princess Phiomia. Based off of everyone's favorite princess from the Shrek movies, Princess Fiona. Princess Phiomia is just too perfect. I mean, look at that lovable face. How can you not like that? And for you, our dung beetle friend, I've got a name for you as well. You will be called the Duke. Yes, because the Duke is going to watch over all of his loyal plant subjects, and also we are going to give him the Duke to eat. It's hilarious, laugh. But yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and fill up this guy's inventory with a bunch of feces as much as we can. We're probably only going to upgrade his weight so that way he can actually carry more of this stuff, and the more feces he can carry, the more he's going to be able to convert into fertilizer by the end, and that fertilizer is going to feed into all of these plants right here. He's going to watch over them. It'll be nice and perfect. One last thing I wanted to get done in today's episode was to give ourselves an armor and equipment upgrade. We have flak armor available for us now that we're a higher level, so we're going to make ourselves a full set of this stuff, and we are also going to make a long neck rifle. This is going to be crucial for taming in the future. These things, you give them the tranquilizer darts, and they do a heck of a lot of torpor damage to creatures that they hit. Now, one thing we are also going to need in order to actually be able to use our gun is gunpowder. I've got some spark powder at the ready right here, and I've already got some charcoal instead of here, so we can go ahead and make ourselves a bunch of gunpowder right now, and we'll turn those into bullets once all that is done. We are back, and we are looking sharper than ever. Yes, we are metal clad right now in flak armor with our long neck rifle, and I just wanted to take this thing for a bit of a spin before we end off today's episode. Let's go ahead and try to find ourselves something to kill. I know RGs like to fly around this area all the time. There has to be one around here somewhere. Got a 187, and I don't even think that was a headshot. Alright, now that it's flying right towards us, we'll have a nice easy shot of its head. Bam! 280. Looks like another one's joining the party too. It's a high level. Oh, they're both high level. Let's get out of here. Go, go, go. No entry for you. They're attacking the gate. Quick, defensive maneuvers. You guys are in for a nasty surprise. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sweet Tooth, go. Bite, bite. Bite away. There goes one. And now you're all healed back up. Gotcha. There we go. Nice and tasty. Alright, let's end off today's episode. Alright everybody, I think that is just about going to do it for today's episode. We got a lot of progress done in this one. We finally got our wall built, no more intruders. We got our greenhouse finally built, we got our crops going in there. We got the Duke and Princess Fiomia here to help us. And we also paid a nice visit to the terrifying floating islands of Apotheosis. Oh man, I am definitely going to return back there, but I am nervous for what horrors will await me next time I go there to visit. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I really hope you liked it. I hope you liked the montage at the beginning. Like I said, I had a lot of fun with that one. And until next time, take care. See ya.